The article called 10 Practical Tips for Making Fractions Come Alive and Make Sense focuses on how fractions can be misconstrued and misunderstood, as well as represented in many different ways. They discussed how fractions can be viewed, such as a quotient, and also how they can be an operator to operate the unit, such as 3/4 of 12 equals 9. After they discussed how fractions are used and are similar to other skills, they give 10 helpful tips that could be implemented in order to help students better understand fractions. The tips not only include getting them to understand the meaning of fractions and how that can help them in life, but also how teachers could compare fractions and provide many models when representing fractions. The first quote I chose was the very first sentence in the article. It states that fractions are difficult to teach and to learn, but they should not be viewed as a lost cause. I found this quote important because even though fractions are more difficult, they are still very important to understand. Fractions are the underlying principle in many different areas of math, so they need to be focused on and truly understood. The second quote I chose was, if we understand, for example, that one meaning of 2/3 is 2 divided by 3, then strategies in sharing situations become obvious quite quickly. I think this is an important concept because this allows students to see the connections between dividing and fractions. This is also how my teachers taught me fractions to help me understand the underlying concept. Lastly, the third quote I chose was, overall, if students are to become flexible in moving between different constructs, they need to be familiar with different representations and manipulatives, as each model differs in its ability to reflect each construct or concept under investigation. This quote was taken from the section where they were discussing how important it is to provide a variety of models to represent fractions. I believe that this is key in using a variety of manipulatives, not only to better understand fractions, but also other concepts in math. Doing this will also allow deeper understanding for students who are kinesthetic learners. Overall, through reading this article, I learned simple ways to help better develop a student's understanding of fractions. I truly believe that if more teachers followed these helpful tips, there wouldn't be such a big gap of understanding with fractions. I know for sure that when teaching math, I will be sure to implement these tools in order to help my students. After reading this article, it even helped me to better understand fractions, which I believe will not only help me as a student, but also help me as a teacher later in life. Thank you.